disgusting. And then I'm going to show a picture of a funeral of all your family members crying because you died because you didn't smoke. Which one of those situations do you think is more apt to change your behavior in smoking? Right? I mean, you're trying to save their life.
Yeah.
And if you're coming from that standpoint, why are you holding back? Yeah, you're trying to scare them. You're trying to scare them in a loving way. Your kid's going to touch the stove. What are you going to do? Oh, don't touch the stove? Or are you going to freak out and run over there if they're ready to cross the street? Oh my God! You know, da-da-da. Yeah.
I just wanted to share this. I did a nutrition workshop like Joe talks about doing, and I was putting it together. I was talking about colon cancer, #1 cancer in the United States, and I put in a slide of a section of colon with cancer taken out of it. And my wife was looking through it. She's like, "Ooh, I wouldn't put that in there." I'm like, "That's exactly why I'm putting it in there, because of what you just did." And when I showed that slide, everybody was like, "Oh," like that. But that hits home, and that is what makes people stop and pull out their old paradigm and get ready for you to insert the new one. So, just wanted to dovetail on that.
No, you're 100%. That's what's gonna change it. And in the same way of that slide is equally as important as you speaking about that slide, and you need to speak in that same raw way. You know, which is the way I speak to you guys as a coach. You know, what are we waiting for? I'm gonna wait. Wait for what? So your practice continues on the same path it's at for another year or two? I mean, I did it myself too. Somebody would like, oh, you want to start? You know, I'm gonna wait. What are you waiting for? You know, if it's not me, it's somebody. But for God's sakes, go train with somebody to serve more people. What's the benefit of serving more people? If you want to come from your own benefit, well, man, you're going to make more money. You're going to have a better practice. You're going to have more fun in practice. That's great too. But for God's sakes, people are dying. Look, 300,000 deaths from properly prescribed drugs, 150,000 from medical errors, 5th from the bottom, 4th highest infant mortality rate. #1 reason to go to the emergency room is what? Side effect of the drug. 17,000 people die from NSAIDs. Are they life-saving drugs? No. Biaxal Mobic, blood clots, heart attacks, and strokes, right? Acetaminophen, 56,000 injuries a year, 25,000 hospitalizations. This is on Ritalin, Bragan's research. Asthma, that's the one that burns me more than anything. If you give a child an antibiotic within the first year of life, you increase the likelihood of developing asthma 8.9 times. That's their research. I think it's higher than that, but that's their research. Geez, asthma is on an epidemic level. I don't know why. I don't know. Let me see the new research. Let's see, 90% of kids by the first birthday have already had their first round of antibiotics. There's a shocker. And then they do the Wellington Institute, and guess what they find out? That 80% of the 5,000 people that die from asthma, 80% of them die from the treatment of asthma, the drugs, not from the asthma. Is that insanity? You're creating the disease, and you're killing thousands of people a year by creating the disease. How many people have asthma patients in their office? How many of them get better? I mean, Mary Ross started her office. She knew nothing about chiropractic. She's had asthma since she was a child. She hasn't used her inhaler or steroid since her second adjustment. And she's still like, I don't get it. Like, now she's on the other side. Like, why wouldn't they talk about that? That's what I'm saying. How are they going to know? How are they going to know that you can do that? They're going to know because I helped somebody or because you helped somebody in your office? They're going to know by you going out there and shouting it and putting in ads and doing talks and making a health handout and talking to people nonstop about it. Not by adjusting them and asking them about the weather. They're going to know by you talking about it nonstop. You've only got a few minutes with them. Give them some information to go out and spread the word. Give them some information and go out and act like a warrior for your practice, for chiropractic, to save the lives of the daughter of their coworker who's laying there sick or in the hospital. Do you say anything? You got to say something. 94% of all antibiotics are not even necessary. So all those kids that are taking the antibiotic that are getting asthma in the first place that are going to eventually die, 80% of them from the drug treatment, 94% of them weren't even for bacterial infections anyway. How absurd is that? It's absurd. It's disgusting. It's embarrassing. They call us a non-scientific profession. They dare say that we're quackery. I mean, are you kidding me? Look at their research. You should be proud and excited. When somebody says something about a chiropractor, I'm like, well, geez, you know what? You're right. Maybe we're not but you guys are the third leading cause of death in the United States. Great job. Good. Right? 2005. Research, this is all on my website anyways, Northern California Cancer Institute, right? Heavy antibiotic use, tenfold increased risk of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. All these people like, wow, it's at epidemic rates. I don't know what's going on. Let's see, the antibiotics you're getting prescribed, you don't even have to get them prescribed because they're in about 80% of the food you eat, the chicken and the meat and all the other stuff, right? Over 50% of all antibiotics that are produced are given to our food. Journal of Epidemiology, tenfold increase in the risk of Alzheimer's. Vaccine, aluminum content, right? 40-year study, CDC 2006 determined there was no change in the mortality rate of senior citizens with the flu vaccine. So now you're creating Alzheimer's along with who knows what other autoimmune diseases because you're injecting the stuff in people, right? Unbelievable, right? And then what do they say? Well, you got to give it to those people because, if you're older and you get the flu, you could die, which is true. So we're going to give you this inoculation with the idea that it's going to save your life. Guess what they found? It didn't save anybody's life. In fact, it was just the opposite. Right? Then you got Gary's Null, Death by Medicine, 784 times. I mean, doesn't that piss you off when you read that? Isn't that enough Tackman fuel right there? It's enough for me. I get done reading those on Monday night. I mean, look out. They don't know what's going to hit them now because I'm just, screaming and yelling and I'm all animated and fired up. And then you read this stuff. No, is all medicine bad? No. But I have medical doctors that come in and they're like, wow, you know what, you're absolutely right. Or you know what, I never thought about it that way. Or wow, you know what, you're absolutely right. That's true. And it's changed their practice. I had a pharmacist come in and he comes in because of a back problem. He brings his wife in and his son Nicholas who has autism. And he starts getting adjusted and he ends up bringing me in a month later release document from the VA, and the guy was released with 64 prescription drugs. I got it in my file over here. 64 prescription drugs. He goes, Doc, you know what he said to me? He said, Doc, you guys got a lot of work to do. He said it's the residents that do that. It's the guys that are just getting out that are uncertain, so they prescribe this, that, and the other thing because of their lack of certainty, and they're killing these people. And how can you be healthy with that, right? 25 million pills an hour is the most recent stat. That's out of Journal of Pharmacology, 2009, and that was from James Chestnut.